Good evening, everybody. Here we are again on a Monday evening, celebrating the spiritual lives of many different people connected to Covenant. And we have a well-known face here. Those of you who follow online will know Margaret Ann, another Margaret Ann, one of our 4 or 5 Margaret Anns that we have around Covenant. And you'll know Margaret from our seasonal series of Reading on the Rock, because she's our crafty person. So Margaret is going to talk a little bit with us about how she came to Covenant. She lives in the neighborhood, and I don't know which came first. So let's tell us a story.
Okay, well, growing up, I'd go with friends to, different churches and everything because my father got married in the Catholic Church first with his first wife, but he wasn't that religious. My mother grew up in Baptist, fire, brimstone hell.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so I think she decided that me and my 2 brothers at that time, my sister didn't come along till later, that we'd make up our own mind when we were old, which but she let us go with friends, and we'd experiment, see different things.
Yeah,
and
different kinds.
Then, growing up, I do genealogy, my family history. And I learned that my grandparents got married in this church in 1934, my father's parents. But back then it was Spencer Ripley Church.
Yes,
it wasn't, Covenant yet.
Right.
But so I was always interested. And then I moved into the neighborhood about, 15, 20 years ago, and I knew about the church, but I was kind of scared. I didn't know anybody.
Yeah, it's one thing to go with friends, but it's another thing to walk in as a stranger.
But I knew it was United Methodist, so since I work at the library, I like to research. So I researched Methodism, and whatever, all the beliefs, and I decided, I believe pretty much, what you believe in. So, and then Rebecca works at the library too.
Oh, right.
Yes. So while I was online, I was looking, up at the church, and I saw Rebecca's picture, and I'm saying, I know her. She works at the library. So I talked to her, and I said, hey, you go to Covenant, what's it like, we're there.
And it was Covenant by that time. Actually.
Yeah. That was.
And did you make the connection that it was Spencer Ripley? I mean, did you make the connection it was the same building your grandparents were?
Yeah, because the address was on there.
Oh, right.
Right, and it said Spencer Road. I'm saying, where is that? And, and it's Culver Road. So since I know somebody, I was actually afraid that I'd walk in and everybody would be looking at me and everybody come up and it would be...
Overwhelming.
But Rebecca said, no, it's quiet. You just come in, you can sit and you can see a service and everything, And I came and... I met Anne and a whole bunch of. Then I started staying after to have there was Bible study in there, right? And I met a few people, and I came for a while, and then I decided to get baptized in the church, and all my friends in the Sunday school class came up with me and put their hands on me. Yeah, I made good friends here, and we like to stay after church and,
Yeah, you're the coffee clutch.
Yes.
Even if there's no class.
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah. But, so there's a lot to do in the church, and, and then I started, joining committees. I was head of the Mission and Social Justice for a while, and we march in the Pride Parade. And
yes.
Well, this year the library marched too, so I was trying to decide which one I should march with. And then I found out that library is marching right behind the...
Oh, for goodness sake.
It's right there. So.
That's a wonderful coincidence.
Yes.
I have a friend who calls those God incidences, not coincidences. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
You're right.
How has it been, helpful at any time in your life? The church or God, your faith,
right?
Just the church.
I've noticed that when things get really bad, and all you can do is pray, things get better.
Oh, wow!
And
wait a minute. Did you just hear that, people? When we take time to pray, things get better. Yeah, you don't always get the answer to the prayer, but things get better. That's powerful.
And the strange thing is, all my friends that aren't at the church, they're not really religious, and they don't actually understand sometimes. So,
Right.
you know, when I say, you know, I can't stay out too late on Saturday nights because I got church tomorrow. Oh, can't you just miss it for once? I'm saying, but I don't want.
Right. Yeah.
And you know, and they don't
Yeah.
understand. But
Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to have the language, the words,
mhm.
to explain
Right.
what something,
Right,
how
right,
important
right.
something is to us. And I know you've been involved with children and
Oh.
crafts and all of that
Yes,
stuff.
yes. Well,
Yeah.
because since I just graduated with my bachelor's in visual arts, so you
Yes.
know, I like to do crafts and art.
Yeah.
Because most of my job I used to be in digitizing at the library, and we'd scan for 10 years. We scanned local history things and put them online. So if you do genealogy around this area, we've got a lot of scanned stuff. But they closed
What's the
this
website?
Down. It's www.libraryweb.org.
Oh.
Or we have rockcitylibrary.org, but you can get the
Yeah.
digital collections, and you can
Wow.
see city directories going way back. I've got ancestors there in the 1824 directory.
Oh my goodness! So
Yeah.
you're a long-time Rochester
Yeah,
person.
yeah. Well, my Britain line goes way back. Actually, that airport used to be called Britain Field, and that was one of our.
No.
Yeah, we were related to our. Joe Britton was in the first directory.
Wow! Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah. So that
How far
keeps me
back have
busy.
you gone altogether?
Oh, well, I've gone way back to the Mayflower on some of my lines. So, yeah.
Oh my!
Yes, so,
Oh,
yeah, so that keeps me busy. But most of my work was like technical, and so I need to do art to keep like a balance.
a balance.
Right, and working with kids. Before I started at the library, I worked at Head Start. So that usually,
That's a great reminder for us all. I think that whole thing about keeping our parts of ourselves in balance. You know, when
Right.
you have to do a lot of head work, you need to think about hard work.
Right.
Or when you have to do engineering work, you need to balance it with artwork or whatever.
Right.
That we need ourselves.
And hopefully we'll get more kids in, because most of them aged out.
I know.
We need an influx
Yes.
of new children.
Well, we're
coming
certainly
to do
working on it.
Sunday school,
It's so
yeah.
nice, like
right.
to
I
see
mean,
the kids in
online is
church.
good, but we like
Mhm.
some, physical.
Right.
It's it's okay to do art online, but it's easier when
it's
you're sitting around a
yes.
table and you can help
right.
someone.
And also, it's tactile. It's very
Right. Right.
and everybody gets a chance to touch and get
Right,
messy.
right,
And,
Right. And reading new books and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Well, thanks for all you do at this church, and thanks for being an inspiration to me, anyway. And I hope all of you will stop by and say hello to Margaret and sometime when you're in the neighborhood in the church, and come on a Sunday, and because she's bound to be here.
And you can meet all the Margaret Anns.
And you can meet all the Margaret Anns, that's right.
We have a lot.
We have a lot of them. All right, so we'll see you next week for another conversation, and join us on Wednesday and Friday for evening prayer at 7:00. Thanks. Good night.